The Meridian's Hope drifted silently through the Kepler 4042 system, her hull scarred by micrometeorite impacts and radiation burns. Adam Chen floated in the engineering bay, his magnetic boots clicking against the metal floor as he surveyed the damage to the quantum drive array. The rest of the crew, all 23 of them, including Jennifer Torres, the ship's xenobiologist, had evacuated to the emergency pods 6 hours ago when the cascade failure began. But Adam had stayed. Someone had to. "You're insane," Jennifer had said through the comms, her face tight with worry on the small screen. "The containment field is at 12%. If it drops below 10, the antimatter reservoir will—" "I know what happens," Adam had interrupted, already pulling on his radiation suit. "That's why I'm staying. Get to the pods. I'll see you at the rendezvous." Now, alone in the humming silence of a dying starship, Adam worked methodically through the repair checklist. The ship's AI, Area, had gone silent an hour ago, her processors fried by the electromagnetic pulse that had started this whole catastrophe. Without her guidance, Adam relied on decades-old training from the Solar Fleet Academy and the thick manual he'd downloaded to his suit's heads-up display. He crawled through the access tunnel toward the primary power junction, his breath fogging the faceplate. The radiation counter on his wrist clicked steadily. 30 millisieverts and climbing. Not immediately dangerous, but he couldn't stay much longer. The junction box lay behind a panel marked with faded warnings in 8 languages. Adam unscrewed the bolts with practiced efficiency, his gloved fingers steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. The panel came free, revealing a maze of fiber optic cables, plasma conduits, and— Adam froze. There, nestled among the primary systems, was something that shouldn't exist. A secondary panel, unmarked and clearly added after the ship's original construction. In its center sat a single button, red and gleaming, surrounded by a ring of warning symbols he didn't recognize. What the hell? He pulled up the ship's schematics on his HUD, cross-referencing the location. According to the official blueprints, this space should only contain backup power relays. Nothing about a secondary system. Nothing about a button. Adam's engineering mind churned through possibilities. A safety mechanism? A self-destruct? But why hide it? Why leave it off the official documentation? His comms crackled. "Adam?" Jennifer's voice, distant and broken by interference. "Status? Containment field? Critical?" He glanced at his wrist display. Containment field, 10.3%. The antimatter reservoir contained enough fuel to power a small city or vaporize everything within 1,000 kilometers. "I'm on it," he replied, though he wasn't sure she could hear him. Adam turned back to the junction, systematically testing circuits and rerouting power. But the numbers wouldn't budge. Every pathway he tried led to dead ends, burned-out relays, or systems too damaged to restore. The containment field ticked down, 10.1%. His eyes kept returning to the button. In his 15 years as a spacecraft engineer, Adam had learned one universal truth. Ships didn't have secret buttons. Everything was documented, triple-checked, and regulated by the Solar Federation's stringent safety protocols. This button violated every principle of transparent engineering, which meant someone had wanted it hidden. 9.8%. Adam made his decision. He reached out, his gloved finger hovering over the red surface. If this was a self-destruct, at least the crew was already clear. If it was something else, well, he was out of options anyway. "Here goes nothing." He pressed the button. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the ship shuddered, a deep vibration that resonated through Adam's bones. The lights flickered, died, and came roaring back, not the dim emergency lighting, but the full illumination of a ship running at optimal power. His HUD exploded with data. The containment field surged, 15%, 30%, 55%. The quantum drive which had been completely offline, began its startup sequence. Life support systems that had been on minimal power suddenly showed green across the board. "Impossible," Adam whispered. A new display materialized on his HUD, text scrolling in a language he didn't recognize before auto-translating. "Human contingency protocol activated. Emergency power. Reservoir 98% capacity. Estimated operational time 847 hours. Adam's mind reeled. A hidden power source? Enough to run the entire ship for over a month? The energy requirements for something like that would be... His thought cut off as he saw the source designation. 0-point energy extraction module, Project Prometheus. 0-point energy. Vacuum energy. The theoretical power source that physicists had argued about for centuries. Energy extracted from the quantum fluctuations of empty space itself. The Solar Federation had publicly declared it impossible, too unstable, too dangerous to attempt. But someone had built it anyway. Someone had hidden it in every ship's core systems, a secret failsafe that only activated when conventional power failed completely. "Adam!" Jennifer's voice came through clearly now, powered by the restored communications array. "What did you do? We're reading full power restoration from here." Adam stared at the button, at the humming systems around him, at the implications spreading through his consciousness like ripples in water. "I found something," he said slowly. "Something that changes everything we thought we knew." He took a photo of the panel, the button, the warning symbols, evidence, proof that humanity's technology was decades, maybe centuries, more advanced than anyone realized. Proof that someone, somewhere in the Solar Federation, had been keeping secrets. As Adam began the journey back through the access tunnel, the ship's systems singing with renewed life around him, he understood why no one had dared to press the button before. Not because it was dangerous, but because once pressed, nothing would ever be the same.